What is up, all you beautiful people? Bit different today, under the hood of my car. So today, doing a little bit of maintenance on the old girl. I've got to do a rocket cover gasket, otherwise I think it's known as a valve cover gasket. Got the stuff, running genuine Toyota gaskets, and I've got some seals to do, some other little bits and bobs. Yeah, I've got the old man give me a hand today, as he knows a bit more about this stuff than I do, but stick around and we'll see if we can't learn some things. Now, before you even start any of this stuff, I recommend you pick yourself up a workshop manual. So I got this in the post the other day. I've been sort of holding off until I got one of these. This literally tells you how to tear down and rebuild your whole car, which is freaking schmick. And there's a couple of things you're going to need too. So I had to run down to the local tool shop and pick up a torque wrench, because later on I'll show you the fuel injection lines that go into the rocket cover need to be torqued up properly. So going back a step, you're not able to get a socket on it. So I picked up some crow's feet. This is just metric stuff. So I bought a set of those to see how we go with this. In the book, it talks about removing the valve cover. Now this is sort of how it explains how to get into there and replace the gasket. It first says that we've got to remove the top mount intercooler shroud and the top mount itself to get access down to the rocket cover or the valve cover itself. A few bolts holding the shroud on. I think they're a 10mm nut and a couple 10mm bolts. To get the intercooler off, there are 4 mounting bolts. So there's 2 on each side. They're a 12mm bolt. So you've got to take out those 4, which you would have seen me done. You've also got to loosen off the intake for your throttle body. So it's just a hose clamp. I just take off the front one off the silicon connector. So just make that nice and loose. There's one there. There's also, we'll see how we go doing this. Also one here, so this pipe that goes straight down, there will be another connector, another silicon connector. Go to undo that, so that's loose. Now there's a couple wires you got to unplug. The first one I was talking about is this one here. So we just unplug it like so. The second one I'm talking about is this one here, this grey one. We'll put these back in for you so you can see. It's this one here, so we unplug, where's the thingo? Plug this one, also take the harness off this bit, there we go. Now, once that's out of the way, you can leave this on the EGR throttle body. Now there's a vac line, so it's this one here, it's below all this wiring. It's got a little clip here. I normally unpop the clip, and we'll get you a bit closer. Now you'll see this black plastic line. You can simply separate it like that, and that's it. So that's now ready to come off. Alright, just whip that off, just comes straight out. I normally just wiggle that side out first and this side comes out. If you get the hose clamps just slack enough, it comes off pretty easy. The next thing I do, as you can see, my engine bay is a filthy thing. So I normally just block up the intakes, so just get a clean rag, roll it up in a way that it will stay there. Shove that one in there, and the one that's always going to get full of stuff is the one down in here. So I block those off, and now we can see a bit more what's going on. So what we'll have to do is, you probably can't see from that angle, I'll do another angle, but you have the injector connection lines, so that's these 4 here. We'll have to take those off, and I'll replace the seal for those once we get in there. I believe you've got to take them out from the inside, and then on this back side, which I'll show you from this side, the injector lines. I'm following what the book says, that workshop manual. It says remove the wiring harness. So we'll take off, as the old man's doing, the brackets. So I think believe it's 10 mils at that.
Yep.
10 mil where he is now. There's also one up on top here. There is one at the back, but mine snapped off, and that should be enough for us to move it out of the way. You would have seen us take off the injector connectors, so just these little plugs. The old man said it's probably smart just to label them, so we just label them 1 to 4 from front to back. We also cracked all the nuts for the cover, and also this breather hose. Now this looks different from standard because I'm running a catch can. Factory one looks like this. It just sits down like that. So you want to take this off, there'll be just a nut on the side of the engine you just take off, and you'll probably be able to just turn it around out of the way. Alright, I'll give you a bit of a close up as to why we're doing this. So I've got an oil leak in the back corner of my rocker cover. So I hope you can see it there. That oil, if it gets worse, will start dripping on down onto my exhaust manifold, which is a very bad thing, so that's why we're doing it now. Alright, so we're going to head down to the fuel lines now. So there's my fuel lines here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to undo this bracket right here, undo these two joiners, and then we'll start cracking these fuel lines. Alright, so you would have just seen us, we pulled off the cover. Woo! Alright, there's a heap of crud we have to get rid of. So all this muck around the edge of this, we got to make it like it's brand new again. So the old man reckons get a vacuum cleaner going so there's nothing falling in there. You want to make sure no dirt falls in there whatsoever. Okay guys, so just got the rocker cover off. So when we did it, this is it the right way up. This is where all your fuel lines come in, and all these seals sit like this. So these come out, we just pry them out with a little screwdriver, pop them all out, and I did end up taking out the fuel lines, just made life easy. And there's also the seals here for those connectors, which I believe come out from this side. But parts wise, my car is a 2008 Sr Hilux. It's got a 1KD engine in it, and it's a KUN 26. If that helps. Parts wise, just running all genuine Toyota seals and gaskets. Now, let's see if this helps. All right, that's the label on it. Let's see how close we can get. If you guys can't see this at all, I'll put a still on it. So that's the gasket. These are the fuel line seals. So and lastly, these are the connectors. I don't actually know the name of them, but these are these top piece ones, I believe. So now that's out of the way, we're going to pop out these seals and this old gasket. The old man's cleaning up the head at the moment, so he's just in there with a vacuum and some rags and a scraper and just removing all the crud. Right guys, we have cleaned up as much as we can for now. So the old man's been cleaning the rocker cover. Now, when I bought this car, it had injectors done on it, and the people who put the old gasket in put liquid gasket on frickin' everything. So we've been scraping all that out, and the old man's found a crack where it was leaking. So where are we? We'll see if we can't see it. So that little hairline there, we think is the culprit, so it goes pretty much the whole way across. So you can do two things: get a brand new one, or try bogging it up with a bit of liquid gasket. Being a public holiday, I don't think you'll be able to get a new one, so I'll probably try bogging it. Okay guys, apologise for the noise. It is raining. I've got a tin roof on the shed. So did a bit last night. I cleaned up everything. Also found another crack in the top of my rocker cover. Just little hairline cracks, which isn't ideal, but it's what we got. So pretty much ready to start putting everything back together again. Last night took the chance just to push all the seals back in. So got brand new seals and all of these. So these are the, I don't know what you call them. These are where the fuel lines go into the injector. So these are all brand new seals too. Got my brand new gasket here. Now, the book that I'm reading is telling me how to do this. It talks about putting some liquid gasket in the groove of the half moon section. So I believe that's this piece here. So this is the front of the rocker cover. So front, this is where you fill up the oil. So front being here. So it says to put, seal in there, and it also says to put seal, like liquid gasket, in here. I've got a screwdriver and show you. So it says to put it in this corner in here, either side of this piece. Alright, and on this side too, because this piece here isn't connected to the head, like it's not part of the head, it's a bolt-in piece. I'm guessing it's some sort of shroud for the top pulley of the timing belt. So just here. This is the other part. Really good book, pictures on it, really helpful. So this is where it's talking about the sealants, so where these arrows are. It's talking about where you want to put them, so either side of that shroud thing I was talking about, and then either side of that little, I don't know what you call it, but yeah. So we'll do that now and we'll start whacking it all back together again. just put the rocket cover back on, got the injector seals all done, the fuel lines back on. A couple of little tricks we noticed. So notice where the fuel line seals are. These ones to put them in after you put the rocket cover on. Also just to tap them in with like a hammer and just like a little block or something, just so they sit real tight around here. We've also got to put the fuel lines up to a torque setting, so it's 35 newton meters, and also the bolts for the rocket cover are, I think, 9, so not much. So that's all. I'm about to start hooking up all the wiring loom again and get everything back on, and then see if the car starts. So everything's done. We're about to start it up. Alright guys, as you can see, the car is out of the shed. I've taken it for a drive. It runs Mickey Mouse. Couple of things with this car: common rail diesel, so you have to let the car turn over and self-bleed the fuel lines. So I turned it over for a bit and it started up perfectly. So yeah, super happy with how it come up. And yeah, I'd recommend getting yourself a workshop manual if you're going to do something like this, and it's really handy for knowing how to do everything else, like complete full, tear down rebuild of a car. So definitely recommend. Other than that, guys, it's going to wrap us up. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.